How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Very nice to meet you, Richard.
Thank you for coming to see our site, and thank you for coming and utilising our products in yours.
Lovely.
It's exciting.
Well, we're very excited because this has, for us, been a 7-year journey. So I first met Ben 7 years ago, and we've really waited until now before we could find a material that we were happy met the credentials that we were looking for. And the credentials we were looking for really was something that we could really say was a biosurfactant and was not going to harm the environment and was going to be great for our customers' skin as well. We've taken the decision to launch first a household cleaner rather than a skin product, but certainly in the future we'll be looking forward to working with you on other products too.
In fact, we are coming up to 6 years old on the 18th of May. So,
fantastic.
And from there we've taken it from an idea and a concept to full UK commercial manufacturing, utilising local resources to ferment your biosurfactants.
Fantastic. And this is all UK-based science. It's in fact Northern powerhouse science, isn't it?
It is. The story and the vision of Holiferm, how it's incorporated, is really an inspiring one. So you have Ben from the Wirral.
Yeah.
He went to the University of Manchester to do his PhD, so span out from the University of Manchester, put the first office into Manchester, and then from there we've expanded. So it's all UK, UK North, the Northern powerhouse. We have our manufacturing here in Liverpool, and then we have our R&D in Manchester. So we're basically taking the talent and the knowledge in both areas. It's really exciting.
Fantastic, fantastic. Let's just take a tour around. So, coming into here, I can see lots of great big vessels. So I understand, Richard, that these are the feedstocks. So the starting materials, if you like. And I can see here that there's only 2 of them.
Yes.
So there's glucose, sugar, and there's oil, which is rapeseed oil. So explain to me how that works.
So what you got to do is you got to think about what our process is. So we use fermentation. We've been fermenting for thousands of years as humans. So instead of brewing beer or baking kimchi, we're now brewing biosurfactants. And that's what we are. So think of us like farmers of the future. So what we're doing is we are taking vegetable oil, the same stuff you cook your chips in at home, sugar, the same stuff you put into your tea. We feed that to a yeast. That yeast, which is a naturally occurring yeast.
Absolutely.
If you've eaten honey, if you've drunk grapefruit juice, you've already consumed the organism that we use. It's already in the environment. We then take that, feed it into a vessel, and then we take the product, the postbiotic, the metabolite that the yeast makes and excretes. We then take that out, which is the biosurfactant, and then we process it into the finished products. So
fantastic. So this is natural inputs, sugar and vegetable oil. And it's a natural process, a fermentation process using yeast, which occurs in nature.
Exactly.
So there's nothing synthesized going into this process at all.
No.
So this is the next part of the process, isn't it, Richard?
Exactly.
And these look very much like what I would see in a beer making factory or something like that. Is that where the fermentation happens?
Exactly. So in these vessels behind us is exactly where the fermentation happens. So at this point, we've taken our microbes, our friendly microbes, and we started to feed them. So the first thing we do is we let them grow, because we start from a very small pellet, like no bigger than my thumbnail. And then from there we allow the yeasts to grow, and they grow and they grow.
Fantastic.
When they get to a certain amount of them, we then switch their diet over. So they move away from growing into production mode. And then that produces our product, and all that fermentation takes place in these 2 vessels behind us.
So all of the making happens over there?
Exactly, all over there. That's where they...
And is there any gas or fumes that get given off by all of this?
So what we have is the actual process itself. It's called an aerobic fermentation process. We help it to progress by flowing air through. But what comes out the other side is exactly the same composition as our breath.
Fantastic.
So there's no nasty chemicals, there's no nasty environment that comes out, which also is really great for industry. Because what we're able to do is put our manufacturing facility right next to where people live.
Brilliant.
So whereas traditional old school dirty chemical manufacturing puts out fumes, chemicals, smells, noises, fermentation doesn't. And so you can actually go back to live where you work. So you can walk to work rather than drive to work.
That's a brilliant message. Brilliant message. There's an awful lot of space in here, Richard. So what you're doing is fantastic, and what you're producing is fantastic. But This is a bit of a big building for that. What are your plans for the future?
So this is where what we're doing is we want to. The vision for Holiferm is to become the largest modern biochemical manufacturing plant. So what this enables us to do here is to expand. So this is only potentially 10% of the Holiferm you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And so come back in the years and you'll see more vessels, more diversity in molecules, all from the same ethos, which is green, sustainable chemistry, with our goal to remove 250 million tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
Fantastic.
And this process allows us to do that.
And, you know, in working with you at this early stage to bring out the first of our new products in the near future, and to then hopefully expand on that, you know, we're delighted to hear that, because this fits so well with our ethos of working with nature rather than fighting against it. Okay, so this is after the fermentation has happened, isn't it, Richard?
Yes.
So what's happening here? Is it coming into here?
Yeah, so what happens from our continuous fermentation, what we end up doing is we start batching it out. So I think when we run in the fermenter here, like if you're brewing beer, we open up a tap and instead of having beer coming out consistently, we have surfactant coming out.
Fantastic.
But it's not purified yet. It's not in a usable state.
Yeah.
So then we fill up this vessel here, the accumulate. We call this an accumulator holding of a vessel, and then we go into what we call batch processing.
Okay.
So singular pot processing. Imagine you're like at home cooking, you're doing batch cooking.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. We're batch purifying.
Marvelous.
And we take our product and we remove all of the contaminants from the fermentation, and then we turn it and purify it into the finished product. And that's because, remember, we're a biological process. So we've got yeasts. So any waste that comes off of here during our purification step goes off into what we call a bioeffluent tank, where it continues to make more product, and we recover more product. So we actually have zero losses.
Fantastic. This looks like an incredible journey to take all this product on. Surely this uses loads of electricity.
Not loads of electricity compared to, it uses more electricity than you do at home, of course, because we've got big stirrers and vessels, but compared to traditional chemical manufacturing or compared to any other standard manufacturing, it is significantly less. So it's in an order of magnitude less amount of electricity compared to traditionals, because we don't use any high temperatures, there's no high pressures, there's no intensified processes, because it's all natural. And so we utilize the environment to us. And actually on our downstream, we use the freest energy possible, gravity.
What's that? Gravity, absolutely. So we're not burning shed loads of fossil fuels here.
Correct. Actually, for Holiferm, we ensure that all of our energy supplies is 100% renewable energy. So we pay more for our energy. We don't go for the cheapest energy. We ensure that all of our suppliers are 100% green energy. We also have a program of work to install solar panels on every part of our roof up here, because we have large roofing. And I know close to Matt Dex's heart, our operations manager, he wants to get some wind turbines here. So hopefully we are looking to get there so we can also generate locally that. And that's all about that journey and our vision to show true green manufacturing can work living next door to housing.
So James, what goes on in here?
So this is the quality control lab here at Holiferm. This is where we orchestrate all of our operations in terms of monitoring the quality of the fermentation.
Yeah, marvellous. And so how does that translate into quality of the finished product that your customers, people like ourselves, would have from you?
Yeah, great question. So along with monitoring the quality of the fermentation, so actually watching to see what the yeast is doing and adjusting the feed so that we're ensuring that we're producing high quality material. As we work through the process of refining the material, at each stage samples are taken from the various tanks and they make their way to me. From there, I'm able to run various tests on them, such as high-performance liquid chromatography, moisture readings, and various other chemical tests to ensure that they are matching the specifications that we're expecting them to. And then as they reach the final stage of their production and we begin to treat them ready to finish product, that point we run through the whole quality control set of tests, which make sure it matches what you'll see on the CFA at the end of the day.
Lovely. So when we take your product and we use it to make household cleaners, personal cleaners, cosmetics in our environment, we can be absolutely sure that the product is as described, that it's fully safe, fully clean, and fully suitable to be used in our customers' homes and on our customers' skin.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great benefits of the product, is that it is such a flexible material, and we've got such a nice production facility here where we are able to consistently produce high quality finished product material.
Fantastic.